Hey friends, welcome to another episode of The Creative Side, the show that explores and celebrates the talent of the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. On today's show, we have Spencer Marcotte. Spencer was born and raised in Montgomery County, Maryland, and has been interested in music for as long as he can remember. He was in middle school when he first picked up the drums and guitar and started his first band around that time. Spencer's in the process of preparing a 7-song album. Here's Spencer's music video for the song Reaching for the Summer. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for another episode of The Creative Side. I am very happy to have as our guest today Spencer Marcotte, who is a drummer, musician from the Silver Spring area in Montgomery County. Spencer, thanks so much for joining us.
Of course, it's great to be here.
So just get the ball rolling. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Spencer. When did you get started with music? What was your first instrument?
My first instrument was actually piano. Like I was put into piano lessons like super early in my life, probably like late elementary school. I can't like pin an exact date, but I was in piano lessons for about 6 years. But like my main focus was I really, really wanted to play the drums, and like I was like badgering my mom like to take me out of piano lessons and like get me a drum kit, but she wouldn't do it because my mom was kind of smart and knew that like if I took piano lessons I would have like music theory knowledge and all that stuff. So after 6 years of piano lessons, she finally agreed to like take me out of piano lessons and finally get me like my first drum kit, which was not great. It was just this like electric drum kit that like barely worked, but it got me started, and that was how I like kind of started playing drums. And until I got my own drum, like actual drum kit, I would play on other people's acoustic drum kits, whether that be like at a friend's house, or even my first few shows weren't even with my drum kit. They were with like random people's that I would just like borrow for the time because I didn't have a real one. But yeah, so that was about like my beginnings in music.
Very nice. So why, what do you think attracted you to the drums from the beginning? Why do you think that you were especially interested in the drums?
That's a great question. I think it was because I had this one like older brother of this friend that I had who I would go to their house and um we would like play after school like on Fridays or whatever, and I went to his house and his older brother had this like really big like kind of, well, at least to me it might have looked much bigger because I was really young, but to me it looked like this like big like almost Neil Peart-esque like drum kit with like all the toms and all the cymbals, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And like he let me play it like one or two times, and I just like kind of fell in love with it like immediately, and I knew I really really wanted to do that. So yeah. Mhm.
Mm. So Neil, you mentioned Neil Peart, of Rush, who's like kind of, I think, up there in terms of like a drummer's drummer, very
Yeah.
technically skilled,
Mhm.
kind of, I guess you would call that progressive rock, type of music.
Yeah, yeah.
So who are some other drummers that you kind of look up to, or that you admire their playing?
Yeah, my favorite drummer of all time is John Bonham, absolutely, from Led Zeppelin. He literally, I watched like one video of that one drum solo from the song Moby Dick, if you've ever seen the live video of him playing that. And I literally was in awe. Like he's so amazing at building tension and like and all, and then like tension and release, and just like keeping the crowd like wondering on their toes like of what's going to happen with his drum solos. And I find that absolutely amazing because there are some drummers who will just like technical and fast all the time, blast beats, and they never really leave space. But I think John Bonham really plays to the song, and that's the same thing with people like Ringo Starr, who I also look up to, who just like play to the song and make sure that, because they also know that the band isn't just for them, it's for everyone in the band, so they want to make it so that everyone is highlighted and that they're doing the right thing to serve the
Mhm.
music, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It reminds me of I think I can't remember who said it, but it's almost like the place that you don't play almost matters as much as where you do play. You know what I mean? When you're talking about
Absolutely. Yeah.
tension and release and all that kind of stuff, is very interesting. Very cool. Yeah, John Bonham, and we're so fortunate that we're living in an age now where um there is video footage accessible of those kinds of things. Like we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
watch performances from 1974 of Led Zeppelin in their heyday. I have
Hmm.
I think it's called The Song Remains the Same. It's on DVD, like I from years and years ago, which is one of their like heyday live performances, and it's got all of them on there. And it's just
Yeah.
to be able to see a band in their like highest peak years captured forever is just so awesome. So leading from there, so we talked about why drums. So why would you say why music? Why everybody, I feel like, has a different answer to that question. A lot of people say to communicate, an idea or whatever, but why for you? Why is there this need to play music?
Well, I mean, for me in general, it's kind of just like a passion thing. Like I have just this like burning passion in me to play music, especially live for other people, which kind of stinks because coronavirus messed that all up. And coronavirus is kind of the reason why I started making solo work. Like, if you can tell, my first song was posted in April, which is like coincidental because that was like right when coronavirus was really ramping up. So I would say that and also like the reason why I play music is because like you said, communication with other people. I definitely prefer playing music with other people, especially for like motivation purposes, because it's really hard to get motivated when you're by yourself sitting in your chair in front of a DAW, just like trying to get something done. But I feel like when I'm with other people, I really start to kind of thrive, and my best ideas certainly come out when I'm with other people.
Mm, very nice. And so, we shouldn't fail to mention, well, Landon will get a double plug on the show because he already had
Mhm.
his own episode, but now, obviously you're a friend of Landon Philip, who was he was actually our very first guest on Creative Side. So, tell me a little bit about playing music with him. And, I take it the drummer in his band, correct?
Mhm. Yes.
Um,
Uh, Playing music with Landon is great. I've been friends with him since I've been friends with him since middle school, but we didn't really like start talking a lot since like I think seventh or eighth grade. Um, and I remember around like I think it was last year, maybe. He asked me if he wanted me or like if I would be willing to drum in his band, and I was like, of course, yeah, like that would be awesome because he had already put out like two projects, and I was like, I listened to them, I really really enjoyed them, and I was like, yeah, this would be great, I would love to. And um, we played I think like probably 5 or 6 shows uh, as a group, and those were really fun shows. I really enjoyed playing with him.
Mm. Yeah, it's just so unfortunate. It sounds like things were kind of starting to happen in some ways, and it is very
Yeah.
interesting. I think we're all kind of interested to kind of first and foremost get through these times and all be safe and healthy and all those kinds of things. But then also to be able to have
Mhm.
that retroactive look and look back at like how it's kind of shaped the times. So, you know what I mean? And like, it's working in all different levels. People are compelled to change their work styles and their
Yeah.
habits and all that kind of stuff. So from there, the music video that you submitted was really really interesting. I really just from a video production perspective, and what I'm finding more and more as I talk to young musicians, that they're inclined to kind of be filmmakers too, and that
Mhm.
certainly applies to you. So tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind the music video that you submitted for the first song.
Yeah. Well, I kind of saw this trend on the internet where like people would take little like lights and put them in their mouth and lip sync, and I was like, that looks really cool. I wonder if I could like. I had this kind of vision of that like floating around a screen, like kind of like a if you ever seen like the DVD weight screen where like the little things bobbing around. I was like, if I could kind of somehow like emulate that, but like with my mouth and over some footage, like it was a weird thought, but like I really wanted to execute it. So I had this song that was already out. Like by the time the music video was out, I think the song had already been out for like probably around like 3 weeks to a month. And so when I made that music video, I just remember like I was outside and I just started filming on my phone. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get like this random footage. It didn't really matter what footage was under it, but I was like, I want it to be kind of like retro. So I had this app that sort of emulated like VHS footage, and so I used that to get the footage, and then I filmed myself in my dark bathroom with just the light in my mouth, and uh, layered them in DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use for editing, and it turned out good. Yeah, I really like the product.
Yeah, I think it's excellent. It looked yeah, that I was very impressed with how clean it looked. I think we had talked before the interview that a friend of yours who does video editing was like, "Did you do a mask around that? Did you do like a mat around
Yeah.
it?" And um yeah, it looked really good, and it reminded me a lot of a lot of different things. A friend of mine, who's out in LA now and does video production and stuff, he had done a really interesting thing
Mm.
that I think those first person perspective videos are really popular now, where
Yeah, yeah.
because that's the source of the overlaid video, and I recognize the place too that you're walking around. That's right at
Oh, really?
yeah, Colesville Road, and
Yep.
what is that? Colesville Road
University.
and University Boulevard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
recognize the spot. Yeah, I drive by it all the time. I've never actually. I think I've maybe gone to that CVS or something like that. Or that is there still a Chipotle there? I think there's a
Yep.
Chipotle.
There's Chipotle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think I've gone by there, but most of the time when I pass by there, it's when I'm going north. So but
Hmm.
yeah, I recognized the spot, and I was just like, but like I was saying, it reminded me of a video that my buddy had done where he took like a green piece of fabric or something like that, and he basically like a well, decently lit day, kind of walked around with this piece of fabric and just keyed in different kind of
Yeah.
abstract patterns into it,
Yeah.
the same kind of thing. It's funny how we're all kind of getting interested in these retro kind of, effects and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so from here, what's kind of next for you? I mean, you mentioned, obviously you're going to churn out some more music, when you're able, maybe play live.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's next on the list for you?
Well, right now I have in the works a 7-song album that's going to be called High Flying Radio Waves. And I've been working on it um, since like May, probably since I released my first song. It does have some of the songs that are out right now. It has Reaching for the Summer, Poems of a Blind Man, and I Listen to Preachers. And those songs are like kind of the singles for it. But it was definitely delayed when I had my computer crash on me. But
Oh no.
that was pretty not great. But it's fine. It's still in the works. It's actually almost done. There are like very few things that I need to get done. So I'm very much looking forward to putting that out soon.
I imagine you would be. Yeah, that sounds like. I'm very sorry to hear you had loss of data. That's like the
Yeah.
worst thing in the world for anybody dealing with anything. It's irreplaceable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where can people find out more about what you do and hear some more of your music? Facebook, Instagram, any of that kind of stuff that you're
Mhm.
willing to share.
Really, you can just look up Spencer Marcotte on YouTube, on Spotify, Bandcamp. On Instagram, you can just look up Spencer Marcotte and it'll come up. Yeah, that's about it. I don't really have like many social medias. On Facebook, you can also look up Spencer Marcotte. Really, just it's that pretty much everywhere. So yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And then from there, just tell us a little bit about this next song that we're gonna see, the acoustic performance.
Okay. This is a song that I wrote. I think like I wrote this song even before I started putting out music. It's called Broken Bones, and um, I just think it's a really interesting song and one that sounds great with just acoustic guitar.
Broken bones and paper cuts in my mind. Cannot stop this wasting of my time. My eyes are fogging and I can't see your face. So keep me here in your warm, sweet embrace. Listen here, you're gonna be fine. Take me to your unholy shrine. I don't know what to do today. Hey, just let me know that you'll be okay.
Thanks very much for watching this episode of The Creative Side, and special thanks to my guest, Spencer Marcotte. And if you or anyone you know has the urge to express your creativity and inspire others to do the same, then connect with MMCTV, and maybe you can be the next guest on The Creative Side.